Now, the rest of the story. He was perhaps the greatest Italian detective of all time, and they called him Dox, D-O-X. During his spectacular crime-fighting career, he was credited with the recovery of 136 missing persons, with resolving 171 previously unsolved cases, and with the discovery and capture of 563 bandits, assassins, and kidnappers. In the course of his service on the Rome anti-crime squad, he was wounded 7 times, was decorated 38 times. Since his death in 1965, the grave in which he is buried, even the house in which he lived, have become law enforcement shrines. In fact, a feature-length motion picture entitled Wanted Man is based on Dox's life story, stars Dox's own son. Detective Dox was more than just a sleuth. His extraordinary intelligence constantly confounded the experts. His physical prowess continually amazed the strongest men on the force. On one occasion, investigators had discovered a young couple who had apparently killed each other in a suicide pact. A farewell letter was found at the scene, and the case was closed. Dox reopened the case. With a seeming sixth sense, he located a lodged bullet the other investigators had overlooked. The angle of the bullet was measured, and murder was proven. Another case, a missing child. Staff detectives exhausted their resources, feared that the child had been kidnapped and was dead. But at the last minute, Dox was called into the investigation, and within hours the child was recovered unharmed. Dox's last case was in 1961, the year of his retirement. An American colonel had been murdered in Rome's vast Borghese gardens. Dox was summoned immediately, and proceeding on the assumption that the killer was still in the park, he tracked him down and without any police backup brought him in. Admiring colleagues said Dox knew no fear. In other words, he was not merely an intellectual who delegated the dirty work to the rookies. Throughout his astounding career in law enforcement, Detective Dox hard-earned his unchallenged record. 136 missing persons found, 563 trackdowns and captures, in all 171 cases solved, cases which had been abandoned by the finest criminologists in Europe. And above and beyond, in the line of his sometimes dangerous duty, the detective performed 46 rescues under perilous circumstances. Every bit of what you've just heard is true. But you've not yet heard the most remarkable biographical details of all. For example, that Dox, hailed as Italy's greatest detective, was born in Germany. And that Dox, whose law enforcement record stands to this day, served on the Rome anti-crime squad for a mere 3 years. And that Dox, who reversed the studied theories of seasoned criminologists, died at the age of 19. And that the 10-foot bronze memorial statue at Dox's gravesite, his monument, the sculpted likeness of the 38 times decorated hero of European law enforcement, is the statue of a German shepherd dog. Now, you know the rest of the story.